The Senate is working on on President Trump's massive budget bill. Yesterday, the Finance Committee released a draft text for its portion of the legislation. It includes some significant changes from the House's version of the bill, including steeper Medicaid cuts. CBS News congressional correspondent Nikole Killion is tracking the very latest from Capitol Hill and joins me now to talk about them. All right, Nikole, so walk us through some of the major changes in the Senate's version and how could that impact the lives of everyday Americans, specifically as it relates to Medicaid?
Yeah, well, I think it's a little premature there because obviously the bill continues to change and take different iterations, including with this Senate package. So what we can tell you is that this version does make some additional adjustments to Medicaid that some worry could stoke additional cuts to the program by basically lowering provider taxes to 3.5%. Now, states use those provider taxes to fund their Medicaid programs. So by reducing that amount, that could reduce the amount of federal funding ultimately that some states get for their Medicaid program. Also, there's some pretty substantial changes to SALT, or the state and local tax deduction. Of course, we had been reporting for some time over in the House bill that lawmakers there had got this carefully crafted deal with Speaker Mike Johnson to raise the cap on those deductions to $40,000 because they argue, look, the costs are too high in places like New York and California, so we want to raise the amount that families in our districts and states can deduct. So that got raised to $40,000. In the Senate bill, it got bumped back down to $10,000. So that's angering particularly House Republicans from California and New York who want to keep that higher cap in place. This bill also makes some adjustments to some of the president's taxes, makes some of them permanent, and it also, as far as some of the green energy tax credits that were in this package, it doesn't roll them back as much as the House version, but that is a point of contention with some House conservatives. So that's why one lawmaker told me, look, everything is on the table. We're still negotiating. We're still working through this bill. So nothing is final until it's final, Vlad.
All right, Nikole, let me ask you about the escalating conflict in the Middle East. How are lawmakers on Capitol Hill reacting? I know that there's a bill that's being introduced by Thomas Massie that seems to have bipartisan support.
Yeah, well, Thomas Massie said that he plans to introduce a war powers resolution, a bipartisan war powers resolution to prohibit any U.S. involvement in any type of action between Iran and Israel. Also, Senator Bernie Sanders over here in the Senate has introduced a separate measure, the No War Against Iran Act, to prohibit the use of federal funds for being used for any type of military force or intervention with respect to Iran. I would also note, though, that Tulsi Gabbard, the director of national intelligence, just arrived on Capitol Hill. That's why I just barely made this live shot, because we were trying to catch her. But of course, she testified back in the spring, suggesting that the intelligence community did not believe that Iran was crafting a nuclear weapon, which some have been wondering maybe that is why these most recent strikes against Iran are taking place. So she is appearing before a Senate panel on a separate matter, but she was certainly kind of asked about her position and continued to defend her testimony, but also said that people should look at the full context of her remarks when she was here most recently on Capitol Hill.
All right, Nikole Killion, thank you very much. Appreciate it.